Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Ruse. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there. And so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you,
Coming
Tony.
on and chatting with us.
No problem.
First tour over in Australia.
Yes, tour might be a stretch,
Yeah,
but at
two
least
two dates, but well, our first
but
visit then. Should we say visit?
yes, definitely, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and and most people have been commenting long overdue.
Oh God,
Uh,
yes,
yeah,
yes, yeah, yeah. I mean, you've been around some time now, like 1992.
35 years.
Yeah,
The demo was around 19, I think 1990.
yeah,
Um, so 35 years
yeah,
on and off. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, and oddly enough, we were trying to work out why all of a sudden these strange places. I mean, it's probably potentially because they're all, well, I'm not going to pretend that Japan's close to
Yeah.
you, but it's that neck of the woods. Um, and it's all just somehow fallen into place. We kind of requested it, never really expected anything to come of it, and yet here we are on the cusp of. We have our Australian visas now. We have our Japanese visas. We're waiting for the Chinese ones to fall into place. So
Wow,
it's really happening. So
brilliant. Absolutely. Because I first saw you. I think it was the Astoria in London in
wow,
'93, maybe '94. It was all a blur, to be honest.
that's often a good sign.
Well, it was. Yeah, it was a lot of happy juice drunk and lots of merriment.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, I've always been a fan. Like you and Paradise Lost have sort
Mhm.
of, and Anathema have sort of been that sort of mainstay of the
So
sound that you
three.
guys make.
Yeah. Well,
And
I mean, I think Anathema drifted further away than we did, and certainly PL are very heavy. They haven't really experimented much recently. In fact, I just listened to their new song, something about it's one of the songs off the new album. I don't remember the title.
mm,
It's very Paradise Lost.
it is. I,
Uh,
I interviewed him the other day. It's very Paradise Lost. Yes.
yeah, no, it's. I'm not saying it's a return to form, but it feels like a return to form. But that might be. I think people will know what I mean when they hear it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said something similar to him actually.
Who did you speak to? Oh,
Gregory.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I said the same thing to him, like that it felt because it was 5 years between the albums, and it
Mm.
felt like that. I mean, your catalog. I was going back to it again and sort of jumping in and jumping out just to refresh my memory of how I love it. And you're right. You don't stand still. There's lots of differences going on in all your albums. Um,
Yes, even though they're not necessarily deliberate. We just try the trick, or in my mind anyway, is just try not to do the last one. So whatever you're doing at this moment in time, if it sounds too close to the last one, you change it or you move on or you don't use it at all. And
mm,
that seems to keep them relevant and so you're not just becoming a parody of yourself or you're repeating yourself,
mm,
even though you're still staying very much, well, My Dying Bride in our instance, Paradise Lost in theirs.
mm.
I know, like I say, I know Anathema really changed, but for us, it's just the trick seems to be just don't repeat the last one, and somehow what you end up with is a new version of yourself that doesn't upset your present fans because you haven't moved too far away from your absolute, the roots of what makes MDB MDB.
Your DNA, after all, yes.
Mm.
Because I was listening to the previous album and the new one. It's just, well, let's say new one last year.
Mm.
And are you going to be playing mainly that when you get here? I mean, it's 2 days on a big catalog. Um,
Yes,
to
just two
grab.
songs. We skip uh, Ghost of Orion. We're not doing anything off that one.
Mm,
We're doing two off Immortal Binding, which is the second of three bells, and Apocalyptist.
mm.
And those two, because we think they sound the oldest, if that makes any sense. Out of all
Yes.
the new album, they sound like they belong in the back catalogue.
Mm,
That could be sort of perceived of good or bad. And then we've mainly gone for an older to mid set because we appreciate no one. Well, I'm going to say this and just tar everybody with the same brush, but no one wants to hear the new stuff. They want to hear the stuff they really grew up with,
yeah,
and so
true.
we're trying to do that. So we are mindful of how people are, because we're the same, we're the same.
Mm.
So if we go to a gig and they're promoting a new album, we'll listen to it, but we want the classics. You know what I mean? We want
Mm.
Number of the Beast. So we're doing that. So we'll only do two off the new album, and then maybe just stick to the older stuff. Up to Dreadful Hours, maybe. I think we might be pulling one off Songs of Darkness. I'm not sure where we're going with that just yet.
Mm.
Maybe one off The Light, and then really sort of dig back into Turn Loose and The Angel.
Well, that'd be fun for you. I mean, because it's probably going over old. When was the last time you played that kind of stuff? I mean, regularly, probably.
Well, we've mixed it up a little bit. So some of them are quite new. Well, they all feel fairly relatively easy for me because I know, obviously I know them.
Mm.
But it's nice to bring. I think we're bringing a couple back off Dreadful that we haven't played for a while, but the kind of up tempo as well. So it's not all strict, absolute, low tempo drudgery.
Mm.
There's an element of a pulse going through the set, which keeps people, it keeps us interested.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's MDB at the end of the day, so you're getting MDB.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you go for, isn't it? And I think that I mean, I'm always surprised. I was thinking about this the other day after talking to Gregory that it didn't really cross my mind till I realized you're all up from the north, like
Mm.
these sort of this heavy doom acts of the late early '90s. There seem to be like you're Bradford and the others are
Yeah,
from further up, and it's like, is it something in the water there? Like,
I think it's because of the weather. We tried to psychoanalyze ourselves some years ago, and because Sabbath are from Birmingham, it's a
mm,
grim place, Birmingham, right?
I know, yes.
Right. So, and we were Bradford, Dewsbury. We're now sort of Dewsbury, Halifax. PL
Mm,
were Halifax, Bradford,
yeah.
and Athena were Liverpool, very working class, same as.
Mm,
So I think you get well, particularly if you're into the metal that we were into as well, uh, you just get a mindset. And we jokingly said that if My Dying Bride came out of Madrid, we probably wouldn't sound anything like this. And we reckon it's the environment.
yeah.
Bradford's a shithole
Oh
and
yeah, I
always
know.
has.
I've got friends from
Right.
Bradford.
Right. So you can't come out of Bradford smiling. So you get, you know what I mean? And the North generally, all right, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as all that. But there's an atmosphere of particularly working class people of hopelessness.
Mm,
And when we were young, it was very difficult to find any real hope anywhere. And the band allowed us to pretend we were going to be something more than just mindless drones working in one of these, they call them dark satanic mills all the time.
yeah.
And as much as a lot of us worked in these places, the bands, PL, Anathema, allowed us to dream we didn't have to stay there. And in many respects, it worked. But there were grim places to grow up in. All of them. I mean, Halifax is marginally better than Bradford and Liverpool, but not by much. I mean, it's better now.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Yeah. Because my nan was from Newcastle, and
again, I
we used to go.
mean,
That's
and
another
who came
grim
out of
place.
Newcastle? What kind of lovely music came out of Newcastle? Venom.
Yeah, I know. My favorite band.
I mean, say no more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, if you listen to them, they sound like us, working class guys just trying to break away.
like, exactly. I do. I think I had this is interesting conversation because on a side note is that I don't know whether young people, have that same kind of there was like we had to do something to get away. It was a hard slog. I moved to Australia, but it's a hard slog to get out of those areas. But it seems these days they just get on the computer and bigly bangly and they do it in the ether.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's the same type of.
Mm,
I mean, obviously the realities of all of this is different. The online world is
mm.
vast now, where we had no online world. You played football in the park.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
That was it. Yeah, and then when you weren't rehearsing, you were probably underage drinking. That's what we did a lot of,
Yep.
and you can tell, and that kind of thing. So, but now I'm not saying that the wrapped in cotton wool, but you don't. I mean, if you were to drive around where I live right now, well, certainly into this time, but generally there aren't many kids out playing just on the grass.
No.
It's just, and it's,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are kids somewhere, but they're all
Yeah.
in probably on their Xboxes or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Uh, so I mean, it's a very different world, and I'm not sure it's any better. But the dragging you out of the, I mean, we weren't living in. I mean, we were poor, but we weren't. It weren't slums type of
Yeah,
poor, you know that
snap.
kind of thing.
Yep, yep.
So, but you tend, if you work hard enough at anything, you'll figure it out. You've got to keep going. You just can't stop.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm not going to pretend that I've made it in any way. I'm still living just outside Bradford, just outside Dewsbury,
Yeah.
which is just on the edge of a normal council estate where normal people live.
Yeah.
Sadly, I'm not in the countryside in a castle in the mist,
Yeah.
which is what everybody thinks
Yeah.
we do.
Yes.
But I do knock about in the countryside in the mist a lot, you know, to just air, you know, just to be free of the job and the work and all of that kind of thing.
Of course. I mean, I think that conversation we just had there does reflect on on the music in your albums, though. That like you said, things are changing. There's no longer jumpers for goalposts, and we're not doing that anymore. And so I think that your music reflects that change in the modern world a lot of the time.
It's for us. We've lost. I mean, this is just the curse of old age. There's no avoiding this. We've lost the innocence. We can see, looking back, what we had, the generations that we're sort of lamenting about now aren't ever going to get. But they're probably doing something that probably at our age, don't really care for anyway. But when they get to our age, they might look back at the generation they're looking back. Well, at least we had an Xbox of something.
Yeah.
So we're lamenting our, what we perceived as great childhoods, even though they were tough.
Oh yes.
But I'm not sure the new kids miss it because, I mean, people always talk about how far we went on as bikes. We went miles.
Oh God,
I mean,
yes.
miles and fucking
You're lucky
miles.
you had a bike.
Well, I mean, we didn't always have, but when we finally got them, because there was me and my brother and two sisters, you know what I mean? We when everybody got the bikes at the same, we had BMXs, if you remember them when they came out.
I always wanted a BMX, a mongoose.
Yeah, oh man, that was popular. That we had a couple of those in our estate.
Yeah.
So when we got BMXs, we would disappear. No one bothered sitting in. I mean, this is really old school stuff. So, but I'm not sure if they do that now. I mean, kids have got bikes and all stuff, but do they go anywhere on them? Probably not.
No, the adventure of life, isn't it? Yeah.
But I'm not. But I think they're probably just as miserable as we were, but in their own way. So if they put a band together, they'll come up with another MyDyingBride or Paradise Lost and Anathema if they choose to.
Yeah.
In their own particular gripes and sort of miseries. Whereas we had what we had, because I'm going to complain about my childhood too much.
Yeah.
It was pretty good in places.
Yeah.
But we just had not a lot of money, certainly not a lot of opportunity once we left school. And the band was a way to dream us way out of that.
Yeah, it's the fuel, isn't it? It's the fuel it's the fuel that creates the art. I've always said that art is extremely painful to create anyway, at the best of times. And it's usually digging into something that's deep in you. This kind of music, like I was listening to the opening track on the last album only about 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago, because it's my favorite track on the album. And it's just so textured and layered, man. The way that it moves from this sort of doom, very slow wonderfulness, which I love doom, right? And then you come into that little bit of real heavy riffing going on, and then it goes back again. It's just such a joyful thing to listen to, even though it's, heavy and doomy,
Oddly enough, my favorite part of that song is the feedback. Because we kept the feedback as a riff, and everybody's going, you can't use feedback as music. I was going, you fucking well can. We're going to do it. Yeah. So you stand over there and make sure it feeds back. I'm going to stand over here. We're going to get feedback, and everybody's going, they're mad, those two. Feedback's not a riff. It is now, and it's deliberately and designed because I'm thinking, well, no, and we like pinch harmonics as well. Old school pinch harmonics.
Good old school squealies.
Yeah.
Yep.
All of that. Yep. So we, as much as it's got a what I consider a really modern production, a polished. It's got all the hallmarks of our youth. I like to call it confident naivety. We were so brazen back in the early days, and we thought we knew what we were doing. And looking back, we realized we didn't. But we were confident doing it, and I can't. We will do some of that. There's nothing wrong with feedback. We'll do it. And well, no, it's got to be. People are telling us it's got to be square. Some people advising us we should go prog, which I don't even know what the fuck prog is, but we're not doing it.
No, yeah. Do you know
So,
the thing about that is, well, I've got you. That's interesting. It's, it's sorry, I made me laugh. It's things like, being told, music is quantized. It's all grid snapped, locked, and I know that there is a segment of that in all music now, right? It's just the way it's produced. But there is sometimes when you listen to, like you said, with a bit of feedback, the freedom,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and I think that's why I'm so drawn to that track. It feels free. There's a freedom in it,
I
which
can ruin that song for you though.
oh no, don't.
I will. There's a band next door to us called Wolves in Winter. Great
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
The rehearsal starters. And when we were doing the beginning of that song, bam, 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 bam,
yeah,
all that,
yeah.
they would shout Angus.
No.
Yes. Yeah. And that was like
Oh,
you
yeah. No, sorry. You get.
didn't ruin it for me. So if you want to get them, it's Wolves in Winter. That's who you need to go get.
I will go and get them. I know the name.
They're a good bunch, though. I mean, a really good, and the music's really quite something. So
Yeah, look, I
um,
it's something that, because your kind of music, your style of music, for a long time disappeared. I mean, you were always there, but it was never on the radar because, fads come, fads go, and you had to dig to find it. And it's really nice now that there seems to be a more uh, open movement in the kind of music that you make. There's a lot of bands that are doing this kind of sound, and they're easier to find, I think, and I think it's a pleasure
well,
because
I think you're right, but I
mm,
think it ebbs and flows because
mm,
we've, like I said, when we first started this chat, we've been around for 35 years,
mm,
and after a while, you start to recognize patterns. And I get the most nervy, let's say, when we're popular. It feels wrong, and it feels like we're in for a bump. And then
yeah,
when we're on the radar and no one cares, that's where I enjoy it the most
yeah,
because no one's looking and we can do what the fuck we want, and no one and people care. Don't get me wrong. There's
yeah,
still plenty of people that love this stuff, but we're allowed to. The spotlight's not quite as bright, and oddly enough, even though we're trying to be successful, I still like working under a rock, if you will, and being
no,
away from the
I
mainstream.
yeah,
Not too much attention, but enough to keep us going and keep it interesting.
yeah,
And we get sections where we're a little bit too popular, and I feel uncomfortable. I know that makes no sense because everybody's trying to be Megadeth or AC/DC, but uh,
yeah. I understand completely, mate. I really, really do, particularly from a creative standpoint.
mm,
Particularly from a creative standpoint, you don't want to lose control of the creativity and the direction that you want it to go in. And if
mm,
if there is some big corporate shield over your shoulder going, make another one of those, you're gonna like, what's it gonna do? It's just gonna ruin you because you just won't be
yeah.
you, right?
Will it be a machine then? And at the moment, it's not a machine. It's a fluid, sort of dynamic and chaotic. No one knows what's coming next.
I love
No one
it.
can predict.
I
It's
love it.
that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
And because I mean, I still get my hair still stands on end when we got rehearsal and we write new riffs. That's where I really enjoy this band. The
lovely.
because we're old school, two stacks, heavy
Yeah,
metal, that kind of thing,
yeah,
and just go for it, live.
yeah,
So I mean, don't get me wrong, I write here at home a lot, but when we take it to rehearsal, that's where it comes alive. But
yeah,
no one knows what's coming, and we'll stand around sometimes, look at each other, and go, "Fuck a duck."
yeah.
Where did that come from? What's going on here? It's just something else.
Well, that's the
Uh,
connection of human beings, isn't it? That's the
yeah.
connection of human beings and a musical spirit that you
Mm.
can't do in a room on your own.
And
The
again, you
reflections.
can oftentimes the first couple of goes are the ones that you wish you'd recorded because you can repeat, but you can never quite capture what that something was.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's no one. I mean, thankfully, our music's too obscure for anybody really to get involved, uh, like a corporate bigwig, let's say.
Mm,
So we don't need to worry about that. But you couldn't do that with us anyway. As music's too obscure, it's too and too unique.
yeah.
Very small market. Don't get me wrong. We're sort of in the doom arena.
Mm,
Most people have heard of us or he'd heard something by us, but it's still sort of big fish, small pond type of vibe.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I came across you again, as I said, early in the mid 90s because I was really going through a Candlemass phase.
All right, cool.
And Messiah Marcolin. He, I bought him a beer once. He's a
Really?
toweringly huge man. Um,
Yeah.
he fell
I
through
was
the
I met
stage.
him at a festival once. He was a great guy,
Yeah,
and obviously
yeah.
just a and phenomenal vocalist. We
Oh,
we get to play with Candlemass later this year out in Portugal, I think.
oh, you lucky so
So,
and so's.
no, no, their albums are brilliant, but live they're something else.
Yeah, I
I mean,
know.
they're fucking phenomenal.
I saw him
It
a small. I saw him at the Tufnell Park Dome in North London
right there.
with Cathedral, and I can't remember the third one, but
Unbelievable.
I just remember it went off, man. There was
Yeah, yeah.
punks, there were heavy metalers, it was just a really weird crowd, and to this day I wish that I could go back in time and relive that moment because it was actually one of my favorite times ever. Like,
Well, we played with them not too long ago in Poland, and I don't know what we were thinking. I think we were kind of not blind. We'd been stunned by a signing session that it was an impromptu signing session that took an hour and a half. I
wow,
think we signed everything by everybody, and we were overwhelmed at the reception. This isn't normal.
yeah,
So we were still a bit stunned by that, and then we thought, fuck it, we'll go watch. Well, not fuck it, we'll go watch Scandalmass. We'll go watch Candlemass,
yeah,
and they were phenomenal. I think, well, this is like a dream come true. This day, we've done a decent set. We've had an hour and a half signing session, and now we're watching this, teaching us how
oh
it's really done, man. And we're all, in fact, some of their siblings were there. I think one of the sons at least, and we're all stood next to them singing the songs backstage with their family. Uh, it's something else.
just brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing Messiah and his side band after he left Candlemass. It's Solitude. What's the name of the band? Oh, I've gone blank. Anyway, his side and he didn't change, man. He was still
Yeah,
absolutely astounding. Even though he didn't have the cowl, he was just in jeans and a t-shirt.
yeah,
It
no,
was.
that was cool. I mean, to be fair, that I think he really suited that album. You know what I mean? His vocals on Nightfall are
Oh,
it's out of
yeah,
this world. And
yeah.
again, going back to when I was saying, I've said a couple of times that well, not in this interview, but some of my earlier albums took time to grow on me. And Nightfall was one. I was listening, thinking, I'm not really sure about this. I don't get it, which I'm
Yeah.
ashamed of now. But because
Oh,
obviously I know what it is now, but it took me some doing. It's like, what the fucking hell are these guys doing?
yep.
It's so slow, so heavy. And
Yep.
then you suddenly one of them, I think it was Bewitched
Oh,
that clicked. And then I got it and I thought, oh, I think I know where I'm going here.
God. I remember the first time I heard Mirror Mirror. And I still think that was one of the best riffs of all time. Like
Now that's
genuinely.
something.
Yeah, I know it's saying something, right? But I just love it. It sort of sums up for me what Doom was when I was first
Do you
listening to
remember,
it.
were you in England when Tommy Vance had his Friday Night
Yes,
Rock show, right?
yes,
Because he's single-handedly responsible for influencing probably all of Britain into heavy metal of some description.
yep.
And it was Creators Behind the Mirror
Oh,
from Terrible Certainty.
yeah,
And then so he's put Creator, and he knew what he was doing. It was black and white. Terrible Certainty by Creator, and then right after that, Bewitched by Candlemass.
yeah,
And after that, everybody's buying Creator records and Candlemass records, and just like phenomenal, and such. And these aren't. I mean, when you listen to them, you tend to find that other songs are better. But he'd listened to it. You knew he'd listened to it,
yes.
researched why they should go back to back, and beautifully
Yeah.
put. I mean, he was a genius, that
He
guy.
was. God rest his soul. I don't think he's with us anymore, is he, Tommy? I think he went.
No, he died many years ago. Sadly,
Yeah, yeah. I
also
got
died
it.
with. Well, it didn't, but it did. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, we used to go. I went to the school playground. Man, you'd come in and you like, did you listen? You
Yeah.
listened and you'd talk about it. Like you discuss it in the school playground. My mates and I, all our semi-long hair, and like trying to be.
I mean,
Uh,
if I say to you, who's of my age now, rock with Tommy Vance,
yes,
you hear it in Biff Bifford's voice
yes, yes, you do.
because you grew up with it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And so you can never lose that. You know what I mean?
No,
Beat that.
no, he's not well, Biff. I hope he gets better soon. Poor thing.
I don't know this.
He's got a
Well,
cancer diagnosis, which is
man alive.
yeah. Yeah. We
That's
lost Ozzy. We can't lose Biff now, can we? Let's not lose Biff.
But
I
there's
love.
only so much time in each of us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even with illnesses like that, there's still. I mean, let's not go there.
No, let's not go there. But because it's, but I just want to say, yeah, because it came across my mind because I read it this morning. I was like, oh no, what a shame, But so
All
if
right.
he's
Well, fingers
listening, I hope he
crossed.
gets better. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we do wish that.
Yeah. Look, time's coming in to an end. Thank you for chatting. It was
Thank you.
absolutely fantastic. It,
Yeah, no, it's been good.
love the band. It's big. I mean, I hate to say it's a thrill for me because this is a part of my musical uh, growth.
Mhm.
You and PL and Anathema and Candlemass, they were just there, and it's always been. You've always been there, which is something that I have to say thank you for. Okay.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're the reason we did it.
Yeah. Absolutely love it. And don't
No, thank you very
change.
much.
Don't change.
Oh
Just
no, 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 no. There's none of that taking place.
no, no. The world needs your music. It really does. Even though you may think that it's a bit obscure. I think telling you now, it's the right side of obscure. Let's just say that.
Well, that's really nice of you, and I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Really, that's really appreciated.
No, and 16th and 17th of September, Sydney and Melbourne. Don't bloody miss it. Whoever's listening to
I'll
this.
do my best to be there.
And so will I.
Yeah, I think I've got to show up to that now.
I think you've got to. You've made a commitment.
No,
It's
it's going
already,
to be great fun. We're looking
yeah.
forward to it.
Oh, it's a long journey, but I'm sure you'll be all right. Plenty of rest in between. Are you getting any time off to around the country, or are you
No,
flying out straight
this is
afterwards?
kind of the. Someone asked, are we doing the gigs on the back of like touristing things? And
Yeah,
it's absolutely not that. The entire focus is the gigs. We're only so if we see anything at all outside the venue, that'll be a bonus. Uh, if we do anything at all, I find that unlikely, but
yeah,
that'll be a bonus. It's the shows. Just do the shows, ensure that people get what that they're coming to see. A live My Dying Bride,
yeah.
and
You know what?
anything after.
And hopefully this lights the touch paper, and you come back more often. You know what I mean? This might just be that little.
Oddly enough, that tends to happen. Once you've kind of you broken it. And I'm not saying we're breaking into the scene, but we've done it once. It will, or we will have done it once very soon. It will be provably done then, and potentially far easier the next time. And we're still confused at why it's taken so long because we don't genuinely have a reason.
Yeah, I'll look him at. You can never tell. This is a funny country. It's a very long way away.
Mm.
It's very insular at the same time, very open. So it has its place. But the doom scene here is huge. I mean, my friend's band Witch Skull, just they always talk about you guys. So
Yeah.
I think you'll find it's going to be very busy.
Excellent. I'm really looking forward to it. I really am.
All right. Well, thanks for chatting. I'm sorry it's gone over time.
No, no, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's been great. It really has. It's been a wonderful interview, and thank you very much for that.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Again, thank you for everything. Love. And now I'm going to have to go and say comments about that first song to the Wolves.
Wolves in winter. They are
Wolves in
nothing but
winter.
wolves. Yeah, great bunch.
Maybe if
Really.
I go onto their Facebook page and just write Angus on it, they might know what I mean.
It's the drummer. He was the main Angus
Was
guy.
he? All right, I'll say something.
Yeah, but they're a good. I mean, they're a great
Oh,
bunch.
no,
I've
of course.
got their new album, and I've been trying not selling it as such, but pushing it to Peaceful,
Mm.
pushing it to Nuclear Blast, trying to get them just get people listening to it. In fact, they don't even know this. So if they see this, they'll see it first time. It's made it through the first barrier at Peaceful and gone on to the next barrier, so which is real progress.
Wow, brilliant.
Yeah, so fingers crossed for them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. More and more. That's what I say. If you like it, it must be good, my friend.
Oh, it's heavy. It's solid stuff. It's you'll like it. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. I will. When I finish here, I will go jump on and try and grab to listen to some
Brilliant.
of it. So,
And they're
anyway,
not paying me to say this. They're
oh
just
no, I
genuine.
know. I love that though. That's what isn't that wonderful about the musical community though? You don't have to say it, but you said it because you genuinely like what they do, and you want people to also like what they do. I think it's something that the metal community has that no other community
Well,
has. I don't think.
I mean, not only that, there's a couple of guys in the band I've known for about a million years,
Mm.
and they're just good guys, and they deserve something. And not that I can deliver it, but if I can help deliver it, they've got to do all the work. I just might get them in front of the right pair of ears.
Exactly. Well, that's all you can do, isn't it? It's serendipity, isn't it? Push it in the right direction. If you know what I mean?
Hope so.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
I will.
I'm off back to bed.
You do right. Thank you very much.
See you, man. Bye. See you in September. Okay.
Yes, I'll see you then.
Bye, mate.